Have you ever felt like no matter how much you give, it's never enough? Like you're constantly saying yes to things you don't want to do, just to keep the peace. If you have, you're not alone. Most people go through life afraid to say no, thinking that denying a request means they'll be seen as selfish, unkind, or ungrateful. But let me tell you something. The ability to say no is one of the most powerful skills you will ever learn. We live in a world where people are conditioned to please, to say yes when they mean no, to put others ahead of themselves, even when it comes at a personal cost. But here's the truth. Every time you say yes to something you don't want, you're saying no to yourself, no to your time, no to your peace, no to your priorities. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, once wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less. Not out of laziness, but out of clarity." He understood that we cannot do everything, nor should we. Our time and energy are limited, and if we spend them pleasing everyone else, we leave nothing for ourselves. Learning to say no is not about rejecting others. It's about choosing yourself. And that's not selfish, that's survival. Think about your daily life. How often do you agree to things that drain you? A favor for a colleague that eats away at your time. A family obligation you accept out of guilt. A social event you say yes to because you don't want to seem rude. We tell ourselves it's easier this way, that avoiding conflict is worth the sacrifice. But is it? What happens when you say yes to everything? You become exhausted, you feel resentment, you start losing yourself in a life that no longer feels like your own. This is the cost of never setting boundaries. And the worst part? People don't respect those who can't say no. Buddhism teaches us about detachment, not just from material things, but from the need for approval. Saying no isn't just a practical skill, it's a spiritual one. It's about understanding that you are not responsible for how others feel about your decisions. You are only responsible for making choices that align with your values, your time, and your well-being. The first step in learning to say no is understanding that your worth is not tied to how much you do for others. Many people struggle with guilt because they believe that being available, helpful, and accommodating makes them good people. But true kindness is not about exhausting yourself for others. True kindness comes from a place of abundance. When you take care of yourself first, you have more to give to others. Now, I'm not saying you should never help people. Life is about connection, about giving and receiving. But it has to be on your terms, not out of fear or obligation. Saying no is about reclaiming your life, one decision at a time. Let me share with you a story. There was once a wise Zen master who had a student that always agreed to help others, even when he had no time for himself. One day, the master gave the student a bowl and started pouring tea into it. He kept pouring, even as the tea overflowed onto the table. The student shouted, "Master, stop. The cup is already full." The master smiled and said, "Just like this cup, if you keep saying yes to everything, you will have no room left for what truly matters." The lesson is simple, yet powerful. If your cup is always full of obligations that aren't yours to carry, you'll never have space for what nourishes you. You cannot give from an empty cup. Let's talk about how to actually say no. Most people struggle with it because they don't know how to reject a request without feeling guilty. But setting boundaries doesn't mean being rude or cold. It means being clear, firm, and unapologetic. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." And learning how to set boundaries is one of the most important lessons of all. Here's the truth: you don't owe anyone an explanation. If someone asks you for something that doesn't align with your priorities, a simple "I can't" is enough. You don't need to justify, over-explain, or apologize for taking care of yourself. No is a complete sentence. Of course, there are ways to soften it. You can say, "I appreciate the offer, but I have to decline. That doesn't work for me right now. I have other commitments I need to prioritize." Notice that none of these responses include over-explaining, guilt, or justification. They are direct, respectful, and firm. Another important lesson is to understand that people will test your boundaries. Some will push back, some will try to make you feel guilty. But remember this: the people who truly respect you will respect your boundaries. The ones who get angry, they were only interested in what they could get from you, not in your well-being. Let's bring this to the modern world. Think about work. How many times have you taken on extra tasks you didn't want to do? Agreed to stay late when you were exhausted? How often have you said yes because you felt like you had no choice? Or, in relationships, how often have you tolerated behavior that made you uncomfortable? Let someone take advantage of your time, your kindness, your patience. Saying no isn't just about avoiding tasks. It's about protecting your peace, your time, and your self-respect. Mahatma Gandhi, a man known for his unwavering discipline, once said, "A no uttered from deepest conviction is better than a yes merely uttered to please, or worse, to avoid trouble." Saying no isn't rejection, it's self-respect. It's an affirmation that you value your time, your priorities, and your peace of mind. So, the next time you hesitate to say no, ask yourself this: is this something I truly want to do? Or am I saying yes out of guilt, fear, or obligation? If it's the latter, remember, your time and energy are the most valuable things you own. Protect them. People who learn to say no live lighter, freer, and with greater self-respect. And the best part? Once you master the art of setting boundaries, you'll find that the world doesn't fall apart. People adjust, they learn to respect you more. And, importantly, you'll respect yourself more. So today, I leave you with this challenge. Say no to one thing that doesn't serve you. Just one. Start there and watch how it changes everything. If this resonated with you, like the video, subscribe, and join this journey of self-mastery and wisdom. Let's continue learning together, one lesson at a time.